The famous Harland and Wolf Cranes in Belfast. We are here in the city, possibly the biggest game ever for ladies football in Belfast City, and Geraldine McCann is with me. And Geraldine, you would know, you captained Antrim to an All-Ireland in 2009. You're nodding, but there might have been a senior game in Casement years ago, but for Antrim, this is the biggest. This is incredible ground for them to be.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible. As you say, the biggest game, given the fact that they've been up and down in intermediate a few times, but have never made the quarter-final of the All-Ireland, and to have it here at home in Belfast, it's just a brilliant thing for the girls. And hopefully we'll get a big crowd out to support them as well, because to be honest, not that they need it, but it'll be really, really good to push them on. But yes, this has to be one of the biggest games, I have to say, for Ulster or Antrim ladies football today.
And you're so proud of that. I can tell that, even though you're living in Tyrone now, and even though your daughter's here who's got let me see your Antrim jersey. She's got a few Tyrone jerseys as well, but it is about the young girls. And you mentioned the support. If we have a look along the crowd here, there's already a huge crowd in here. There's definitely a case of saffron rising here for the ladies, and you must be thrilled to see that.
Do you know what? I'm immensely proud. Obviously, I know I've got two nieces playing today, but I have to say the structure, development that has been going into Antrim for the past 10 years has been really, really brilliant. And you can really tell from a senior, from the minors, the under-16s, I'm sure you see that they're through to an All-Ireland C final. It's just brilliant, and I'm so proud of them. I actually genuinely am so proud. Whenever I think back, whenever I played for senior football for Antrim at 13 years old, and we were getting hammered by the likes of Armagh, Monaghan B teams, and now look at us now today, playing in an intermediate quarter-final of the All-Ireland, and looking like pretty much the favourites going into this, which is just unbelievable when you think about it, actually. So
I can see you're going, am I okay to say this? Am I okay to say that Antrim are favourites? But I mean, I was working out last night, they've lost 1 in 19, and that one they lost was a bit of a dead rubber, and it finished early even, you know, so an incredible run. Why do you think it has happened? What's the main reason?
Well, to be honest, you have to put it down to the Antrim County Board, the development and structure they've put into all of the underage, and as you can tell from Antrim, there's so many growing clubs as well, even from the likes of St John's, the newer clubs in Belfast, and even like obviously my own club Cargan started up a team about 8 or 9 years ago. That all helps develop, you know, across the county. But I have to say, you have to give it to Emma Kelly. She's really produced a brilliant team, and she's got them flying fit. And when you look at Ulster Senior last year, Monaghan making Ulster final, that's not just luck. That's from all of that development going into the clubs in the county. So yeah, we've been waiting for it, and we're just delighted that we're here, and obviously proud to push those girls on.
Brilliant. Okay, well, we go and get the commentary started to see the captains out in the middle. They're nearly ready as well. So we'll go and do that. But first of all, the referees out there, and we need to take a second and respect our referees.
What can happen in just 1 second? Winning goal, winning save, perfect tackle, clever flick, good call from the ref, great shout from the line. The county title, after 30 years, a long wait over, in just 1 second. It's a game of seconds. Glorious seconds. Genius in split seconds. By great players. Just 1 second. The difference between a good decision and a bad one. A lost temper, frustrated shout, that gut reaction. We've all done it. And we're never proud. But we can do better. We all can. Sideline, dressing room, meeting room, all places of passion where split-second decisions are made. Good ones, bad ones, some days not so calm ones. It's instinct, we know, because we love it. We just don't think. But we have to. Of others, of our players, of our game. Think before we act.
Take a second, catch your breath. Collect yourself, don't regret. take a second to make the right call for ladies Gaelic football.
And the referees are out in the middle with the umpires as well. The referee is Philip Conway from Grange and Armagh. Eddie Cuthbert is the fourth official, and the two lineswomen there you can see, that's Yvonne Duffy on the left and Grania Sands to the right. So they are ready for this game. And the weather changes almost by the minute. We were here about an hour and a half ago and there was a terrible downpour, but the sun then has been out in the last 2 or 3 minutes, so it's hard to know. But one thing that people won't maybe know in Monaghan, I'm sure have never played here before, or maybe not that often, and this pitch wasn't even here I think about 5 or 6 years ago, so it's new and it takes a bit of getting used to, and there's a strong wind that seems to go around a bit. We are on a bit of a sort of a platform here, but it does seem to go from right to left. Geraldine, you wouldn't have played here.
No, not at all. In the days that I was playing, I was lucky to get into Casement Park, which, as you can tell, Casement Park has been closed for a very long time. So a lot of our games have been played in the country. I'll be honest with you, down in Monaghglass and Carrigan, a lot of those games, and obviously in St Paul's and Belfast as well. So, but it's like you say, it's amazing conditions, and like look at the pitch, it's in great condition.
This wind is going to be a factor now. I think going from right to left, I think you'd want to play from right to left. I mean, we were talking earlier about Monaghglass coming through. There was a county final here a couple of years ago when Monaghglass blew St Paul's away, scored 4 goals in about the first 15 minutes, going from right to left. Obviously the wind doesn't win it for you, but still. I think that's the anthem coming on. It's a little bit loud and I don't think the players are ready for it, but we will pause. Are you feeling those shivers, Geraldine?
Oh, definitely. Feeling very nervous. Very, very nervous. I'm sure those girls aren't nervous at all, though.
Yeah, no, they played a lot of football the last few years, and they're so young, so you're right, most of them will not be feeling this, really. That's just, and Emma Kelly's message will be, and that Kyla Trainer, this is just another game.
That's it. Just another game. Just play like you have been playing before. Enjoy it. Take your time, make your runs, support play. Like those are the big things that obviously Emma's really instilled in those girls, and you can really tell from it. Like as you say, you know, I think one of the watershed marks for that team was against Tyrone, and you could just tell that they worked harder, you know, supported their girls and made really good direct runs. So hopefully they'll do the same today.
Where do you see them sort of lining out? I mean, we see Anna Mulholland now has a dislocated elbow. She's not available. So Lara DeHunsey maybe into midfield. Aisling Keenan McFarland is away on honeymoon. Teresa Mellon's coming in. She's a real runner on that team. But I suppose the system's going to be the same. They're still going to try to get the ball to Orla Prenter.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what will happen is Brona Devlin, she's obviously at number 13. She usually comes out in the middle and she does a lot of brilliant work in the middle, trying to get all that dirty ball and obviously link the play. So I think Brona will come out. Orla and the likes of Grania will stay in there, and the likes of Maria, Kathy and Teresa I think will drop back slightly into the midfield line or even further on just to support that back line coming through. I have to say, whenever I look at the Antrim full back line, you know, whenever you think about the last time they played Monaghan, they had Niamh McIntosh, Emma Fearn and Aisling Keenan.
And to be clear, obviously, Maeve Mulholland is actually in there wearing
yes.
number 20. We have it on the screen there, but Aisling Keenan is not here. So Maeve Mulholland from Glenravel is in that full back line. Sorry, go on.
No, absolutely. So you've got a full back line that hasn't really played too much together. And obviously, Ashton Keenan, she's, as you know, from Breda, from playing for Antrim, captain
Former
in
captain,
Antrim.
yeah.
She's so experienced. And obviously, Niamh McIntosh, well, I don't think you can get a better man marker in Antrim, to be honest, actually.
I think Antrim are playing from left to right, and they are, so they're playing into that wind we were talking about. So let's talk about Monaghan for a minute. I know we've been doing a lot about Antrim for understandable reasons, but Monaghan now, they've a change of management. They've lost twice to Antrim, but they surely have learned from all that. And I know that they have made a few changes as well. Now, I don't think Anya Lockman is there as well. We'll probably pick them up as we go along, but they will surely have learned, and they've had a few goes at Antrim, and they maybe have a different plan today.
Absolutely. Well, obviously, they've named Chloe McBride in midfield, but we kind of know that between her and Muireann Atkinson, they switch about quite a lot. And obviously, we all know that Rosemary Courtney pulls all the strings. Like, she's their main player. She's their go-to person.
Yeah, and
here.
she'll go in centre half back.
She'll go into centre half back, and obviously Leanne Maguire there has been very, very accurate the last few games, so she's going to be a big, big player for them today. But as you can tell, even looking across the pitch there, Monaghan look like a bigger, stronger team. So you're just hoping, like, obviously they can use that strength against Antrim whenever they're playing here today.
And they're going to use that wind advantage in the first half, I would say, as the referee prepares to throw it in. It's Philip Conway from Armagh. So here we go. Biggest game ever for Antrim to play in Belfast. It's a great day for ladies football, and Lara DeHunsey catches it right away, and off she goes, wearing number 12 but playing midfield in place of Anna Mulholland, and she's gone all the way on her own. What a start. Well, if you wanted to underline the talent that is coming through, and Antrim making a statement as one of the most exciting young teams in the country, there it is in the first 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, like Lara's such a talent, and like we've seen that happen over the, I'd say, the course of this whole year. Her dart and runs are just so strong, so hopefully she can keep it up.
She's so powerful. I mean, earlier on it was behind the goals and players were kicking in. There was one ball nearly went over the ball stop, and I thought, crikey, who kicked that? And of course it was Lara. She's very strong, but so is Chloe McBride here. And this is Chloe McBride, wearing number 9 from the Emmett Oak Club in Monaghan. She is a bit of a goal getter, although she was named around the middle of the field. She'll be playing in the forwards. This is Muireann Atkinson, and she will play sort of around the middle as well, in that transition area as well, and trying to feed the forwards. Now this is Rosemary Courtney, the centre half back I was talking about, wearing 10, but she likes to come forward. She gives it to McBride, but Antrim are set up well in there, and they're trying to block this out. Now that kick will easily go into the goalkeeper's arms. So that, I think, is an example of them not knowing the pitch here, or not understanding how it works, or using the wind there, or maybe she was just under too much pressure. But Antrim don't care. They come away with it. Now it's gone out for, I think that's an Antrim ball, isn't it? I would have thought that came off the Monaghan girl there, Geraldine, didn't it? We're not being biased here, but
I don't think we are being
we're right
biased.
beside it.
I think I did hit Lauren Garland, but maybe they're doing a throw up instead.
Yeah, that's a good decision, because I think the referee said, I'm not sure about that, and maybe Yvonne was a little bit too close to it there, but I thought it took a connection, and we are right beside it. So that's good refereeing by Philip Conway, if we're not sure. Let's throw it up now. Lara DeHunsey against Muireann Atkinson, and Muireann gets a hand to it, but it's DeHunsey who then wins it. What a player she is. And to think, Geraldine, when Emma came in, Lara wasn't in the squad because she didn't commit, and Emma goes, well, if you're not committing, you're not there, and she'd be one of her best friends.
She is actually. I know they're very, very close as well, but you can tell.
But she laid down the law.
She did lay down the law, and you can just tell Lara gives everything for Antrim here.
Well, she certainly is today. She scored the first point, and she won that little turnover there just to send a message to Monaghan. This is Tubridy now, Anya Tubridy, although she did get married last week, only back yesterday, and she tells me she wants to be called Anya Ní Lynchy now, or Anya Lynch in English, Anya Ní Lynchy in Irish. I can understand her at the minute maybe not wanting to be called Tubridy.
Yes, absolutely.
But getting married to avoid the name is maybe going a wee bit far.
True, and the only thing is, because her nickname's Tubbs, it's going to be really confusing at this stage.
Yeah, there must be an Irish version of that. Look, Antrim are through now, and this could be a goal chance, and it's Prender, of course, and she has goal in her mind, and she's buried it. Oh my goodness, what a talent. You knew it was on her mind. As soon as she got it, she wasn't going to settle for a point. This Antrim team is living up to the billing. A goal and a point into the wind early on. There was no stopping that, and she, Geraldine, has to be one of the outstanding young talents in the whole country.
Oh, she absolutely is. And whenever you think about back whenever the Ulster Colleges All-Stars, she got one of them whenever she was in secondary school, and she's just got better and better from that stage. But no, she's an amazing player. Oh, God. Of course.
There's an injury there too. The Monaghan number 15, it's Lauren Garland.
Lauren's a brilliant player for them as well. She's from Donegal, and she just works tirelessly, and she can always get a few scores for them as well.
Talking of scores, there's the goal again. See the way she took it down with her left hand, and there, she's not going for a point there.
Never, no.
Magic. There's the sun out now. We didn't know what we were going to get here, but the sun has now come out. You know what? I'm sitting down at the minute, but I'm going to stand. I'm just too into this. I'm too excited, enjoying this too much, and the view's a bit better standing up. Now, this is Rosemary Courtney trying to get the ball into McBride, but she's just nudged, shall we say, away, and the ball goes over the line. And that, I think, is a case, Geraldine, of maybe Monaghan not knowing how to use this wind in the ball carrying.
Absolutely, and as you say about the dimensions of the pitch as well. So it'll take them a wee while, but I'm sure with Monaghan and their experience, they'll get used to it very quickly.
You mentioned the dimensions. I was looking around earlier and thinking, is this as big as Croke Park? It really doesn't feel like it. I know there's a different infrastructure, but it doesn't feel like a big pitch.
It doesn't. I don't think it is, even whenever you consider the size of the midfield line. You know, so I definitely think it's a bit shorter than Croke Park.
Now, there's the niece.
There's the niece.
One of the nieces, Sarah, and she does brilliantly and gives it in. And this is Devlin. No, it's not actually. That is Gráinne McLaughlin going for her score. And now, who is the goalkeeper up there? Did you see a number on her back? Because there was some debate about the Monaghan goalkeeper, because...
Is it 16?
Was it 16 then? It's Alana, who's been in the last couple of games, but a lot of girls have played in goals for them this year, and of course they've a change in management as well, so they have had their troubles this year.
I know.
This is Atkinson now. The Hunsey following her, and overcarrying is given against Murren. Well, from a Monaghan point of view, and we do have to talk about them as much, I do apologise to Monaghan fans, because we just are carried away a little bit with the momentum here with Antrim. You and me are from this part of the world, and we've been just so excited about this exciting young team coming through. But from a Monaghan point of view, they are coming into the Lions' Den here, and they are having to put it up to them, and they have their own problems. Now they get a free there, and they're going to have to really battle this one out.
Yeah, and as you can tell from the last game that they had against Roscommon, that's what they did. They battled it out and beat Roscommon well. So there's a lot of experience in this Monaghan team. So rightly there'll be a big kick. Oh, and there again, Laura de Hunza.
She did well there, but it's actually a free the other way. Well, I mean, 10 years ago, Monaghan were winning national leagues, and you wouldn't have thought that this game would really mean a contest between Monaghan and Antrim.
Absolutely, and that's what you grew up with. Those names, and Monaghan, all the Sharon Courtneys. And also, but for a team in transition, they're doing super well as well.
Number 18 is Jodie McQuillan, puts it high, but puts it to the left again. They can't find their range here. Yeah,
and she's very accurate. Jodie, very obviously their normal free taker and all, and it's great to see her on the pitch as well, because I knew she had been injured, so it's great to see. But I think they're just trying to find the wind. Oh, that's a dangerous one.
It is a short one, but Lara gets it and she wins it again. She really is a powerful player in there. That's 2 or 3 times there's been balls that she hasn't been favourite to win, but she's won them.
Absolutely.
Not once, but twice. Now this is Orla Corr from the St John's Club, the only one from the Johnnies up the road here in West Belfast. 13 is Brona Devlin from Moneyglass, and this is Sarah O'Neill, sister of Maria O'Neill, number 15. The 2 nieces of you, Geraldine, so that's another reason for you to be a little bit nervous today.
Oh, absolutely. Thank God they don't play like me, Jerome. That's the good thing. They're actually skillful. So.
Oh, no, don't be putting yourself down at all. Kathy Kerry, now she played with you.
Oh, Kathy's amazing. I actually think Kathy's playing better now than she had been.
Really?
Oh, yes. She's super fit.
How has she changed her game, do you think?
Do you know what? One of the things is Kathy's got into CrossFit and different styles of training, and it's really elongated her fitness, her stamina, even her speed. And you can really tell by it. Do you ever see the amount of ground she covers in a match? It's unbelievable, and she's their playmaker. That's what she's so key and pivotal to them. So
she has the skill in close situations, but she also just has that bit of calm experience, if I could put it that way.
Absolutely, and she calms them down massively, especially in tight games.
Bit of an injury there to the Antrim number 3, Emma Ferran. She got a bit of treatment there, but she seems okay to continue. This is Courtney.
Yeah.
She is one of the remaining Courtneys in the Monaghan setup, and I think she's the only one at the minute. And there's another long ball, and is this one going to stick? Running away from her just again, and it is that strong wind. The other day I was on to Emma Kelly, and she said, the famous David Park wind, and Monaghan are now finding out what that's about, because that's 2 or 3 times.
Oh, absolutely. And Chloe's brilliant, obviously, very fast as well by getting it, but that was a really strong wind.
It looked like she was looking at it and thinking, I'll get that. And then she thought again, I'll get that. And she went, oh no, I'm not getting that. So definitely home advantage here, and a good home support for Antrim as well, and they are going well. This is Juna Coleman. Now, I talked about the Lions' Den. Her home ground in Sarsfields is known as the Bear Pit, just up the roads. So there's a foul again. The referee is going to tick for, and I think it's Jennifer Duffy's name. Now, she's number 3, but she's not playing at full back. But yeah, Monaghan really just struggling to stay in this contest, to get into this contest, and they're 4 points down after 8.5 minutes. And Kathy now will direct the play, and she just gives it into Maria O'Neill. I love the way when she gets goals, and she gets a lot of goals, and she's been fouled there, but when she gets them, she doesn't really sort of celebrate. She's like the silent assassin in there, and people don't really know much about her, and she just quietly goes about her business and gets loads of scores.
Oh, she really does, and she never stops working as well, which is the key thing, and she just puts her head down and keeps going. She doesn't look it, but she's super fast, super fast. Her and Teresa Mellon.
Will she be okay with you saying that? She doesn't look fast, but I kind of know what you mean.
She doesn't look like she's covering the ground, but she seems to.
I thought I put it nicer. She's a silent assassin.
Yeah, I think she'll like that better, Jerome. Actually.
You'll not be favourite, Andy.
No, I'm never it anyway. Actually,
I don't believe that.
God, there's a yellow card.
Yeah, that's for Shona Brady, number 5 for that challenge. There has been quite a few bad tackles so far, but I don't know why he's gone for that one particular one. Maybe she'd already been ticked, but yeah, she's gone.
Maybe it was because of the highness of the tackle.
Yeah, true. Yeah, so Monaghan down to 14 as if things weren't going badly enough for them. And the referee, he is on the ball. I mean, the decision earlier on with the throw ball and whatever, and he hasn't been afraid to show a yellow card. He's been very decisive, I think.
No, definitely. And you can tell he's just not taking any sort of dirt whatsoever. It's all going to be near hand tackles all the way here, Jerome, which you can understand. He's trying to play the game the way obviously the Ladies Football Association wants to play it, actually. So he's being very technical, but to be honest, I think from that perspective, Maria went to pass on, but she was pulled back there. So
well, it means that Antrim now have an extra player, so Emma and Kyla will be working that out. Who's going to sit in? We'll just use that, or will it make a pile of difference? Maybe not. Now this is McLaughlin, and that's a dangerous one for the defence, but again the referee is very decisive, and I think he says square ball. So yeah, how would you use this extra player?
To be honest, if it was me, I would be using Kathy as the extra player because she just knows where to go. But it seems like what they're doing here is they're using Ciara Brown as their extra sweeper, which I completely understand.
Kyla coming onto the pitch. Kyla's making a run onto the pitch. Emma sends her in to do the dirty work and maybe get sent off. Kyla is actually going over off camera, straight over to Ciara Brown, and so she's probably explaining to her exactly what she does want her to do in that role.
Absolutely.
Not that Kyla would know, she was a forward.
Well, a super forward at that one,
True.
actually. I know my Breda days.
Is that an Antrim jersey under? I thought Kyla had actually not worn an Antrim jersey the last couple of years when she's been in, but she's definitely wearing the saffron colours there, the girl from Downpatrick.
Absolutely, and you can tell there she's allowing Duna to push on up, obviously. Duna is the cornerback, so yeah.
Duna is absolutely fantastic. She's so small, but she is a pocket rocket and she's a bundle of energy.
Absolutely.
Now this is Monaghan trying to get going. They still haven't got a score despite playing with the wind. Playing with the wind sometimes is an art in itself, and they haven't mastered it just yet on this pitch that is alien to them. And instead it's Kathy Carey putting the ball into the corner, but Jennifer Duffy read that one rather well, and Teresa Mellon was going for it. She's not quite playing that transition role that we usually expect her, but she has had an injury recently, so maybe she's easing her way into it. But let's look now and see what Leanne Maguire can do now for Monaghan. They're just trying to work the ball up the pitch. You can see that their confidence isn't terribly high, and they're getting caught in possession quite a lot, and that was good tackling from Grania McLaughlin to turn it over. And Antrim are definitely on top in most of these exchanges.
Absolutely,
and
yeah.
They're playing from left to right, and this is Coleman again, and she's got lots of room over on that far side, and she is going to use that room, and this is Mellon in that transition role that I was talking about, and she feeds it forward to Corr. Corr has got forward from right half back, and now she's fouled, and that looked like a painful one, and it's just one of those coming together. I think we'll have another look at it, Geraldine, there on the replay, if you can see with the city of Belfast in the background. It's quite hard to see some of that, but yeah, she just goes down for it. No, it was just maybe a flailing hand. Is that the nicest way of putting it?
You know, it is a flailing hand. It's just that Orla is very hardy, and you never really see her go down too often. So, but yeah, it looked like a bit of a flailing hand there. Obviously, I'm sure not intentional whatsoever, but yeah, Orla's getting treatment there. You were talking there about Emma Farron. I'm sure you know for her own club she usually plays midfield, and so she's been put into this new role, obviously. So, but I think she's done exceptionally well. Like that full back line is, I'm going to say touch wood anyway, hasn't had too many goals.
Well, the last couple of years they've tried Aisling McFarland in there, they've tried Orla Corr in there as well, and they've tried various people in there, but she's just a good athlete. But as you know, it's not just a one person, it's a way you defend as a unit in there.
Oh, absolutely, and I think having Ciara Brown at number 6 has been exceptional too. Keir covers some amount of ground. You see in that in the back line, oh my God, and cuts out any of the darting runs, high ball, you name it. So it's great that they've obviously pinned her as the extra player here.
If anybody feels the need to contact us, you can do on Twitter at Jerome Quinn or on Instagram at Jerome Quinn 1. No rain so far, that's a good thing. And we've had 1 goal and 1 point. So low scoring after 14 minutes, but Antrim will be perfectly happy, and they're playing into a pretty strong win, just to reiterate that. And it's Monaghan down to 14 players, and I see there number 18, that's Jodie McCullen, just going over to the side to have a word with the management as well. And I'm looking at Kyla she's been on the pitch again, and she's now gone over to the side as well, so she delivers the messages. But more importantly, are both of those players okay? Well, actually the Monaghan player seems to be worse off. Is it the number 11, Amy Garland? And I know one of the Garlands had a strap on her leg a couple of weeks ago in a game. It might have been Amy, and she's the player who gets up and down the field more than most, so that's definitely a concern. And really, this is not going well today at all for Monaghan. We've a quarter played, they're down a player and they haven't scored.
Yeah, and she's obviously there's some problems with her knee, and she's a big player for them, Jerome, as well. It's not a good sight to see. Hopefully, is she staying on the pitch? It looks like she is.
Yeah, she's going to try and run it off.
She's going to try and run it off. Fingers crossed there's nothing too serious going on there. Amy's just fantastic, obviously, for Donnacht Moyne as with Monaghan.
This is Kathy Kerry now, giving it back to Prenter. She's like a gazelle in there. She's such a fabulous athlete, an impressive athlete. Now there's another collision. Just as she fisted that over the bar, she ran into, and the defender is out on the ground as well. It might be Jennifer Duffy in there, and that would be an unfortunate collision again. And that will hold up the game again, and hopefully there's nothing too badly wrong with either player. Prenter goes so fast, doesn't she?
Oh God, yeah, it looks like there's a bit of a shoulder there to Prenter, and obviously I think both girls obviously got the worst from the hit actually. But yeah, it was obviously a very good run by Orla. But yeah, hopefully Jennifer's okay there, because she's holding her head there, so hopefully no concussions.
I can tell if we watch it once more actually. Let's have another quick look at it. It was just when she released the ball. Yeah, that's sore.
That is sore.
Yeah, and both are still down. That's a little bit concerning.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the crowd when we're going to have a couple of minutes here, maybe and get a couple of shots, because it's a great setup here at David Park. It's a strange story, as I said earlier as well. I mean, this ground didn't even exist up until only a few years ago, and then it became available. But look at that crowd in there. Saffron rising, Geraldine.
Oh, absolutely. And it's so good. Like, I think we have to obviously recognise the fact that Monaghan minor boys are playing in the All-Ireland final, so I'm sure today there will be a real split in the camp in which side to actually support. But yeah, you're completely right. Having a home game and you can just see the crowd for the girls is just brilliant. Like, I'm not just saying this, whenever I was playing ladies football, you could have maybe got 10 people there, so it's brilliant.
And that was just all your family. You're one of 10, so
I'm
9 of them.
9 of them, yep, that's right, 9 of them. They may have brought their girlfriends or boyfriends.
Yeah,
that's what
one more, along with it. Orla Prenter has gone off, but I think it must be maybe a blood sub or something, because she ran off pretty confidently, which is good. Yeah. So we're not looking at a serious leg or shoulder injury, so maybe it's just a bit of a cut. And they have sent on one of the Tiger twins. It's Aoife, who has come on in the meantime.
Aoife's very good too. Yeah.
Oh, they're fabulous young players from Aldergrove, if you know your Antrim, that's out by the airport. I know you do, but I'm just explaining for everybody else. Yesterday we had viewers to the game, Louth against Roscommon. We had viewers from Italy and Australia, so I'm always aware there's hold on, Antrim are through here, and it's Geraldine Grania McLaughlin. Well, Geraldine's pretty good too, but you finished that like Geraldine.
Grania's a fantastic player, left-footed goal, and you could tell whenever she got the ball, that's all she had on her mind.
Let's look at it again here. Monaghan caught sleeping a little bit. Maybe all these injuries have disrupted them a little bit as well, but that's the second time that we've seen good young forwards from Antrim go through and totally confident and totally intent on getting a goal.
Yeah, I have to say, whenever you look at that forward line for Antrim, they're very strong. Each one of them can take a goal or point, no problem. But especially Grania, she's so dangerous in front of nets.
I'm still amazed about where all this has come from. This amazing talent in Antrim, this exciting young team. And just as they do that, Kathy Kerry, who's been around 20 years, catches it. Okay, she's still there as well, but she supplies it now and she gives it into Brona Devlin, and now it's to Hunsey. Will she take her point? They're working it in. It's Mellon. back to Taggart, who's come in as the blood sub, and now Orla Core. Oh, lovely little shimmy by her, going for her own score and doesn't quite get it. But, you know, we were talking about it before the game. Where has this come from? Because you said, like, Antrim 10 years ago had 10 people watching them, and all of a sudden they burst onto this scene.
Yeah, and like as I was saying there, the amount of clubs, new clubs that have developed in Antrim in the last 5 to 10 years, you can tell that the county board has really put in a big effort in relation to the development of the underage structures as well. And also, like, the big thing is, whenever I played for county, you would have had maybe 1 or 2 clubs that would put players up for playing for the county team, but you can tell across the board you've got representatives across the number of different clubs here. So no, it's amazing. I think that's what it is. It's a togetherness.
And of course, it's a big camogie county, but in the last few years, camogie has been exceptionally strong in the glens of Antrim, and the ladies football is more over the whole county, the way that they've got players from, as you say, Glenravel, and Niamh McIntosh is injured, from Glenariff and places like that. So they are representative of very much of the county, and this sort of success is going to inspire that even more.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can just tell, actually, they all want to play for Antrim as well, and it's a real, like, as I said, togetherness, you know. But yeah, like, I do think the underage structures have really improved.
McQuillan going for Monaghan's first score of the game. Has she got it? I think that's gone to the right, and they are still without a score. Nearly 20 minutes gone, and the referee is blowing his whistle for something. Is that maybe Prenter coming back on again? She is indeed. So Taggart will go off. So Orla Prenter back on the pitch, and the referee just allowing that to happen. And the sun is out again. So we haven't had the predicted thunderstorms, thank goodness.
Lauren Garland there still running away. So hopefully that knee injury is okay for her.
Yeah, she's okay. And Monaghan were down to 15. I need to count them again. I'm not sure if they're back up to 15 from 14 after that. Yeah, Sinbin earlier on. This is Tubridy, or Nilinchi, sorry. And off she goes again.
Oh.
And she tries to go through, but is held up there. Referee says, it's okay, play on. And it's Brona Devlin going for the route one, looking to see if Prenter is indeed okay, and Prenter just waits for it, but she's outnumbered in there, and it's Monaghan who will come away. And I think the Huntsy might have got ticked there for that challenge. They're trying to move it quickly. This is Garland, isn't it? That's one of the Garlands.
Yeah,
and Rosemary Courtney is asking for it, but instead they go to Chloe McBride. There's nobody up. There's nobody. She's actually come out. Was the furthest forward, but there was nobody inside the 45. Now they're coming through together, and this is actually better. This is Atkinson doing extremely well, and they have got players over, and this could be a goal. Oh, it's blocked by Brona Devlin all the way back there. And Brona Devlin, the number 13, 1 minute ago, she was trying to create a score at the other end, and now she's saving a goal, and well, Anna McCann would say she had it covered.
She definitely would. Oh, Anna's excellent, so I'm assuming she would. But to your point about the defensive play of Monaghan, like, whenever you took a snapshot, there wasn't one Monaghan player there in the 45, so obviously that's the way they're set up, packed defence. Oh, God,
that's a loose ball, and Jody just looked as if to say, oh no.
Dive.
And you know, Jody's an interesting case in point. Well, I'll go back to the play here. This is Lara de Huntsy, and Antrim of players streaming through the middle, and look where Grania McLaughlin is, looking for a second goal if she gets this ball from Maria O'Neill. Maria gives it to her. Oh, what a save. Fantastic save. And it's Alana O'Donoghue from Emmyvale who made that terrific save. And boy, did Monaghan need her to make that at an important stage in this game. Point blank, great effort.
Yeah, like, I think the Antrim forwards split that defence wide open there. Oh yeah, there's Maria.
Yeah, they're just on their heels, aren't they? Whereas Antrim are on their tiptoes. It's just the way the game is going and where the body language is going. I mean, Jody just played a very relaxed ball across the middle. But what's amazing is a couple of years ago, these teams, with these counties, met in an A minor final in Corrigan Park, and Monaghan won it rather easily. But you thought, oh, that's Antrim put back in their place. But look at the way it's turned around now at senior level. It really is quite incredible.
You just be asking questions surrounding the transition of minor players to senior. That would be the big thing. You know, maybe Monaghan have a very strict policy that they don't play minor. I don't know, because some counties are very like that, whilst Antrim, you know, they don't have.
Well, they've a few that have come through, but Antrim probably have more that have come through. But I suppose it's, as you said earlier, a lot of the Monaghan players who were around a long time have all gone at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's just transition. That's the big thing.
But it's just so exciting watching this Antrim team, and I have to give serious credit. I mean, the two managers, I mean, Kyla doesn't like the limelight. But what she and Emma have done, and it is brilliant to see an all-female management. They only came in May 2021 after Antrim had a few bad results, but the job that they have done has been incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was
Orla Corr went in with that challenge, yeah.
And Lauren Garland, yeah. Not that Lauren was looking, but she was definitely had her sights set to go on forward actually there. But yeah, Monaghan now have a free.
They do indeed, and it's Jodie McQuillan who will take it, and she's just inside the 45, about 40 metres out, and see if she can use the wind to her advantage this time and get Monaghan on the scoreboard. Quite incredible after 24 minutes, and she actually doesn't go for it. She gives it into Atkinson, didn't fancy it from there, and now Atkinson does well to get inside Coleman. But can they get that elusive score? And they still can't, because Antrim have turned it over again. They really play as a unit, Antrim. And hold on, the referee is blown. He's not happy with something in there, and something must have been said. I imagine it's one of the Monaghan players that said something, because Antrim would be happy the way things are going. But the referee taking no nonsense, I think, is a cliche that we would use there.
Yeah, I think Amy Hamill seemed to be angry with that call, obviously, and I think the referee's taken her name.
Yeah, it's just a sign of their frustration, I think. They just cannot get going. And I emphasise again, if there's a wind here, it's in favour of Monaghan, and yet they haven't scored. And Antrim might get another score. It's Anya Nilinchi giving it inside, and 17 is Teresa Mellon. She holds it up very sensibly, and the referee that was blown, is that a foul on her? Did he give advantage? And then he's pulled it back for a free, and Monaghan just cannot do anything right at the minute.
Yeah, it looked like a slight pull in the jersey, from this distance, but I don't know whether they're going to do a replay there. But yeah, he's not giving anything away here.
I see 31 on there. Oh, Prender's wearing 31, so
must have been blood.
Must have been a bit of blood on the jersey. So Orla Prender is now wearing 31. She fancies it from there, but she fancies it from everywhere. And it's gone over as well. I just call her a Rolls Royce of a player, Geraldine. She's just phenomenal of either side. She makes it look incredibly easy, and she's so young.
I know, and it's terrible to say. Everyone says, she just kicks like a boy, which is terrible, obviously.
Do they say that?
Yeah, she's just
if I said that, I'd be in trouble, so you'd better explain that, Geraldine.
No, it's just the way, she uses the ball and how she actually kicks it of a hook kick, and the accuracy of both feet is just amazing. Like if you had her on a men's team, she would do amazingly well too. But
yeah, I think I know what you mean. Yeah, it's that style. It's quite languid, and it's off the left or the right. And you see players trying to stop it, and they just can't get near her. It's just almost impossible to stop. And she hits the ball so well from distance on either side, and she's just so accurate.
Yeah, to add to that, then she's absolutely so fast as well. So she's just a speed demon too. So yeah.
A few weeks ago against Westmeath, I spoke to the Westmeath fullback after the game. Well, it was a bit unfortunate for her. There was a journalist with her, and I was asking him how much Orla Prenter scored, and she looked at me as if to say, really? But she said, that's one of the best forwards I have ever had to mark, and that's from the Westmeath fullback, who's played at a good level. Now that's just going to drop into the keeper's arms, and she will come away with it now, and that is Alana O'Donoghue.
Yeah, that wind is Antrim was against the wind, so it kind of dropped short.
You're bailing Anya out there. Oh, what a ball. This time she's the provider, Prenter, and it's O'Neill. What a finish. Left foot, right foot, and again, she doesn't even celebrate. I call her the silent assassin. She just gets on with it, but she gets the goals, and your niece has delivered again, Geraldine. What a score.
Well, us McCanns are very humble, Jerome, when I come on here. So.
Oh, hold on. I've met the brothers.
Which one are you talking about now?
Well, you're right. Mayhall and Tomas now are very humble guys, okay. Getting you in trouble now.
Oh, definitely.
Well, you have such a big family. There's 10 of you. I mean, there must be one or two guys in there with a bit of humility.
It's entertaining, yeah. It's entertaining, yeah.
Getting you into trouble, never mind me. But what a goal. What a finish.
Amazing goal by Maria. Brilliant. And even the passing was excellent.
Oh.
Set her up massively.
I can't believe the scoreline.
I
came here today thinking, this is still Monaghan we're talking about here, and they've played Antrim twice. They'll have learned, but they are 3-3 to no score against Monaghan, who 10 years ago were competing in All-Ireland finals and winning national leagues.
Yeah, I think the referee's blowing Orla up there for charging. I could understand that kind of.
I think Orla has a couple of ticks against her name. She might be on 2 now, So they could go down to 14 if they're not too careful, but They are already 12 points to the good with 2 minutes to go to half time, and Monaghan still without a score.
I would say there'd be a lengthy enough injury time drawn
Yeah.
with the amount of stoppage as well, wouldn't there?
Monaghan trying again, coming over halfway, and it's Courtney again, always trying to lead from the back. This is Lauren Garland's number 15. So they're going from side to side, but they are really toiling here, and they keep overheading the ball at times as well. I don't think that's just the pitch. I think it's just a sign that they're just not playing with great confidence, where as Antrim now have the ball, and there's 2 or 3 players immediately showing for it and saying, I want that ball. But actually that's much better from the Monaghan number 2. Is it Maeve Monaghan?
Yeah, Maeve's a tenacious cornerback. She's just great.
She's given it, and they get a free, and now it's McBride. Now look at the amount of saffron jerseys here. There's no way through. They've worked so hard, but that is, it started as if it was going to go over, and then the wind again took it wide to the left, and they remain without a score.
Yeah, and like Chloe did so well to get on the ball and drive forward there. It just obviously just slightly went wide.
Yeah, it's just the work rate of Antrim, but it just looks like Monaghan are a team in a bit of disarray. I mean, they got relegated last year out of senior. I remember the game they lost against Waterford, and they were quite poor that day. And they have tried, they've had a few games this year, but they've sort of got it together, change of management, and they just look like a team who just need this season to end.
Yeah. Okay, do you know what? It's one of those things, like I'd say the Roscommon game was a big boost for them, but it's just, for this game, I'd say they would have wanted maybe a wee bit of a better start.
McLaughlin, if she goes again, it'll be another one. Antrim have missed one, and she knows herself that could and should maybe have ended up in the net, but it hasn't. Now there's an injury to Orla Core down the other side off the field here, but yeah, it's a tough one for Monaghan. They've tried so hard, they've tried different things, and some teams drop down into intermediate, and most of the time when teams drop down, they certainly don't bounce straight back. It takes a while to build it. You look at the Armaghs who've done that. Tyrone are still down there. There's 2 or 3 examples like that.
I know, and it is, and as you say, whenever teams do get relegated, sometimes you get a lot of people leave because they've been in the setup for quite some time, and then it's so hard to rebuild again. So then it takes them at least 4, 5, 6 years. You just would hope,
well, Meath did that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they came storming back, but it did take 5 or 6 years.
And
you remember the famous Cork game? They lost by 40 points, and that was 2015. By 2021, they won the Senior All-Ireland. So it can happen, but a lot of factors have to come right, and there can be a lot of pain in the transition, shall we say.
Absolutely.
Now, Orla Core has gone off, and it's DeHunsey has gone down with an injury. That looks a nasty one as we go on with the play, though, and Garland slips it into McQuillan, and Monaghan, they don't want to go through the ignominy, that's a hard word to say. I'll think of a different word, but you know what I mean. They don't want to go through this whole half without a single score, and this should be a score for them now, but more worrying for Antrim. DeHunsey there screamed in pain and was wringing her hand, it seemed to be, and she's down at the minute in pain, so that is not good at all. And Kyla is over there trying to comfort her and talk to her, but that could be a nasty one, and that would be an awful blow.
Hopefully it's just a stave, obviously, of the finger, but just the way she was writhing there, you don't know.
Meanwhile, Monaghan do get their first score.
Brilliant.
And it's McBride putting them on the scoreboard, so they won't go through the entire first half, and I'm not going to try to say that word again of not scoring. But DeHunsey is down. Now, a couple of weeks ago we did the Westmeath game, and there was one of the girls, I think it was Orla Core, and she got a dislocated finger.
Of Sarah?
Or was it Sarah? It was Sarah, you're right. And was it her dad?
Daddy.
Oh my goodness, I couldn't watch it because I had one of those when I was 12, and the coach thought that actually it was broken, and he thought it was dislocated and tried to put it back, and it was broken. So I have a bit of a problem with those sort of things, but this looks like a bit more serious than that, unfortunately. And she set the tone in the first 20 seconds for Antrim, and has been their driving force, and if they're, as it looks, going through to an All-Ireland semi-final, they'll want her on board. They've had so many injuries this year, Antrim, Saoirse Tennyson, Niamh McIntosh, even this week, Animal Holland, and they've had so many blows, and yet they're still here. But Lara,
no, she's a big one, actually. Really, really important. Hopefully it is just something very minor. But with the amount of players around her, you're just wondering there.
And it didn't look like anything.
No, it's just but the way, because it had already bounced, but then obviously it must have been just the way she took it. So hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Yeah, so that's
your two
the
best
latest.
friends there, around her.
The St Paul's connection.
hopefully she's okay.
For anyone who doesn't know, by the way, Emma Kelly, the manager, plays for St Paul's, but of course she's a Derry woman, but probably not too far away from yourself and Cargan as the crow flies down that part of the world, from the Loch Shore.
I know Desert Martin, that's where Emma's from. And what Emma's done for Antrim football has just been amazing. Even as a player, you know, she played with me in 2012, and whenever we won the All Ireland as well, she was super full back. And then coming out now to manage the team, and as you say, it's so impressive as a female leader to be managing.
With Kyla.
With Kyla, managing a ladies' county team, because as you know, in the main it's usually the males that will be taking it. So just hopefully you'll see more of it as well.
She was threatening, if that's the right word, a few weeks ago to play herself because she had so many injuries.
I know she said that to me actually. So fingers crossed we have enough. We're still continuing on there.
Yeah, I thought she was on her feet there, but she's not. And Emma's now trying to come in just to bring the players together and get them to keep concentrated on this game. We're 34 minutes into the 35th minute now, and they can't have been long left in the half.
Absolutely, actually. So it's just worrying me some because she's down for so long.
Yeah, the game we saw a few weeks ago, Westmeath, was a cracking match. I mean, it's obviously a level above, and they could end up meeting Westmeath again. It's Westmeath or Clare in the semi-finals.
Yeah, I got the feeling whenever I was watching the Westmeath Antrim game, Westmeath were quite shocked by it. I don't think they...
Oh, they definitely were.
I don't think they realised the Antrim side, but to be honest, as you say, it was such a good game. Really powerful game, and Westmeath have some brilliant forwards as well. So,
well, it's one thing seeing a team and you know, on a stream, and then seeing them up close. I think they were surprised about how good they were. Now, what's happening here? Whereas, oh, she's still there. She might actually be able to play on then. She's on her feet. Well, that's a good sign. And Anya is with her, and she's had it strapped up. Oh, thank goodness she's able to play on. I thought she might take her off for the last couple of minutes. And by the way, Westmeath are winning. That sounds like a cracker of a game. 3-5 to 3-4 against Clare, but only a point in it, and that's an all-out game. See, at intermediate, you get so many goals. I mean, Antrim, their average is like 3-15, you know, and they love a shootout, and it suits them at this level.
Oh, absolutely.
But Kildare are the strongest team at intermediate, but that's another story. Oh, there's McBride going down, and I think she's claiming that there was something wrong there, and the referee's coming in, and I can see the referee saying, I'm not going to go with that. I don't think there was anything too much in that.
I'm trying to look at the replay there. I know Sarah went down, and then
the Monaghan player started coming in, the legs connected. It wasn't McBride, it was another player, but I don't think there was too much in that, really.
Yeah.
In Champions League, you might get a red card for that, but
True.
I don't think you're going to get carded here in David Park for that.
No, I don't think so. You just hope that nothing. I think it looked like Sarah must have pushed out her leg.
And to be fair, Chloe McBride looks hurt.
Yeah, she does look hurt actually.
So she wasn't just feigning that or overreacting. She did get a bang there, but I'm not sure if it was deliberate.
No, absolutely not.
Again delayed, so we're now in the 37th minute of the first half. Gives me a time to give my impressive statistics out. I'll try and get them right this time. This is Emma Kelly's 28th game in charge. 20 wins before today, 5 losses, 2 draws, average around 315 per game, which is just phenomenal for someone to come in. I actually was there the night that they had their first training session just down the road from here, and you know, I thought I'd do them a favour and do them an interview. I didn't charge them, and it was like, I'll just give them a bit of interview here, but I had no idea that they would end up 2 years later in somewhere like this.
It's just so impressive. But like what I have heard is that the training sessions are so fiercely competitive, which obviously drives all the rest of the girls on.
And it's just great to see people leaning over the fence here trying to watch this game, and the stand packed in the sunshine here at David Park. We're now in the 38th minute, and there is Lara, and she has really been my player in a way of the first half, not just for the way she started the game, but she's finishing the game here, battling with 2 fingers maybe stuck together, and she's not even going off to take a rest at half time. She's still getting stuck in there whether she is injured or not, and that is the spirit of the team too. They all are dying to play for this team.
And Monaghan did really well to close her off there, because you could tell what she was trying to do was going to be going on for goal. So Jennifer there did brilliant.
And Monaghan just trying to get out of their own half, but that is a battle. So Courtney is forced to go back. They might have to go back to their keeper. No, Maeve Monaghan there for Monaghan.
Yeah.
And they will maybe get over halfway now. They are trying to build, but look, she runs into a saffron wall.
Absolutely.
And is forced to go from side to side again. And she goes to Garland. It's Lauren Garland, one of the Garland twins, gives it into Muireann Atkinson. This is possibly the best move they put together, but have they a finish at the end of it? It's Emma Clerkin, and she is fouled. And there may be a chance here. And is that Ciara Brown? It was fouling. Yeah, it was. I thought it may have been Orla.
Yeah, and
Core,
that all came. Yeah, and that all came from Rosemary again. Rosemary's been really, really strong for them, really driving it forward. She's not giving up here actually. So it's just, the only thing is she's getting in the back line and having to run the whole way to the forward line. So
yeah, and they're going down the middle. When have you seen them going down the sides? It's all down the middle. And this now is Jodie McQuillan, and is that gone to the left? I think that's wide. No, it's just inside the post. Second score for Monaghan, 3-3 to 2 points. 39 minutes, nearly into the 40th minute. I imagine that'll be us. The referee indeed looks at his watch, and he's not sprinting out to the middle. Actually, he's letting the play go on. I thought he was maybe just going to stay nearer to the dressing rooms, but now he's sprinting up the middle. And Antrim go on looking for another score, and how many times did they put it over the top? And it's Tubridy who gets through this time and just feeds it back. There's always somebody off the shoulder. It was Devlin on that occasion, but Monaghan have it, and this is McQuillan. And they are now getting a little bit of joy, and it's Courtney, as you say, playing in a way that reminds us of the likes of Sharon Courtney would have done for years for Monaghan. McQuillan again takes it over. Two good spells of possession now, and here comes Duffy like a steam train, and it is through the middle again. But if it works, and they might even have a goal chance here, and it's driven over the bar in the end by the number 21 Shauna Coyle from Latin, and that's much better from a Monaghan point of view.
absolutely, and as you can tell, they're all supporting each other as well there.
And they had a glimmer maybe of a goal.
Surely, actually. I know
She
Shauna
took her
Coyle.
point.
I know, and Shauna was out with a shoulder injury, so it's great to see her back actually as well.
Antrim get it short.
There's Carla
This is
McKenna.
Ciara Brown. Does she keep it in play? Just about. And again, just keeps it in play. Hugging the touchline, but keeping it in. And I see number 18 in there for Antrim's Carla McKenna. I wonder, did she come in for Orla Core? Did I miss something there? There was a sub there, I think maybe, but she's definitely out there. That's Carla McKenna from Court-na-Mona Club, just up the road from here on the Mona bypass. Number 18, so she's come in for Antrim. And this first half is still going on. We're now in the 41st minute.
Yeah.
And it's Monaghan have finally got a bit of momentum. And it is Muireann Atkinson feeding it into another of the Garlands. But that is a little bit loose. I'm not sure if she was going for a score or a pass there, but Amy Garland's kick easily drops into the arms of Brona Devlin. And back to her clubmate, Anna McCann, and she goes off on her travels. This is O'Neill. And number 20 out there as well. And 20, of course, is Maeve Mulholland, who has been out there from the start. A generous round of applause and a very satisfactory first half for Antrim. 3-3 to 3. Is that a fair reflection, Geraldine?
Yeah, like I have to say, Monaghan have got a fair amount of the ball, but to be fair, every time they're moving, not every time, so a lot of the times they're coming down into that Antrim defence, and they're just not giving them an inch. Now, the last, I'd say, 3 attacks have worked out so well for Monaghan, so hopefully that for them that momentum will continue on into the second half. But as you said, actually, every time the ball goes into the Antrim forwards, you're just thinking goal is on their mind, and you can tell that from obviously the score there.
It's interesting the players are all staying out on the pitch. Well, I think Monaghan are now making their way down, but Antrim have just had a little chat out on the pitch before going in. Why, from your experience, would manage, or maybe they are going to stay out, but is there a case for having a chat for just 20 seconds before you go in? What do you think that is?
Usually, sometimes it is that they don't want the two teams going out at the same time, and so they usually pull them back, and so that they're
But now
not
they
doing
are
this.
gonna
And
do
now
that.
they are obviously going out at the same time. So, but sometimes it is just to kind of calm them down first before obviously going into the change rooms to get a drink. But usually it is to stop that what's happening at the minute, just in case there's a lot heat between the two teams.
Well, you talked there about the way that Antrim played, and there was always goal in their mind. What are they going to be like in the second half with the wind behind them? And they know this pitch, they know how to play it. And I mean, I saw them here, well, it was a county final and it was moneyed last, so a lot of the girls, so Prenter and the Devlins, and we scored 4 goals in 15 minutes, so I think it's looking rather ominous for Monaghan at the start of the second half.
Yeah, I would say what they'll be doing is a long ball in to Orla or Grania. and obviously, as we've seen from the first half, they'll just be having goal on their mind again. So with that, and because as you can tell, that wind is very, very strong, so they don't really need to take too much out of the ball to just keep it going. But maybe what they might do is just keep possession, because they are so further forward. Yeah,
relax is probably the word. They don't have to force it, but they're in a very nice position, Antrim. So at half time, they're winning by 3-3. We'll be back in about 6 or 7 minutes with the second half. Saffron Rising. There's a little girl on the pitch there. Oh, and Grania Sands is going in to help her rise a little bit more and bring her back to daddy, I presume. And the people you get on the pitch here at Davids, you know, you've got these hooligans on the pitch, Jared, isn't it terrible? You know, get her off the pitch.
Yeah, these 1-year-olds, like, come on, destroying the pitch there.
But here, isn't that little cameo there summing up what today's about? Isn't that fantastic? And her little Antrim jersey on her.
Oh, definitely. I'd say in the next 10-15 years she'll be out in the pitch playing for Antrim. But yeah, no, that's the key to this Antrim team is youth coming through and the development of all of that and cultivation of all of that youth. So no, it's amazing.
It's an amazing story, not just for Antrim but for ladies football. That, I mean, they've sort of done a Meath but lower down, haven't they? To come from junior, and it must be an inspiration to everybody else. I was talking to the girl yesterday from, was it Roscommon, you know, and she was going, yeah, and she was like lighting up when I mentioned Antrim. They're loving this team, but not just the way they come through, but the way that they've played, you know, the style.
Oh no, and like at the end of the day, whenever you look across that Antrim team, they're all ballers. You know, they all want to play football and they want to drive and they want, you know, and that's that, and you can tell that they love playing together as well. So I'd say from that, it's such a positive role model to anyone watching it, you know, and lady footballers, because that's really what you want to be doing.
To be fair, there were ballers in your team too. I mean, well, we have to mention one because Claire Timoney became a mum this week to little Emily as well. So let's give her a shout out as well, and she'll be delighted, as you are, as being the two captains of the two All-Ireland wins in 2009 and 12, to see this happening now.
I was actually texting Claire there, and she's just immensely proud of these girls, you know, because whenever you're playing all those years back, you think, okay, where is Antrim football going to go? Are we going to improve? And you see it here today. It's just brilliant, and it's brilliant to see that we are in intermediate and we're competing. It's not just, oh, here you're up and then you're back down again. So no, it's great to see. And as you say, wee Emily, she's what, 4 or 5 days old. So congratulations to Claire and Ashley.
Absolutely. And the players coming back onto the pitch now. I'm just checking a few scores from elsewhere. Downer winning by 5 points. That's the latest I'm getting from there. And if anyone needs to contact me directly, you can do that on Twitter at Jerome Quinn or on Instagram at Jerome Quinn1. I'll pick up those messages. I'll go with the play, and Geraldine McCann, I was going to say, or do we call you Geraldine McGinley? I think I better do that.
I think McCann's fine
we'll
here.
I've touched a nerve there. Okay. We'll stick with the Antrim name, especially today, I guess. But if you can pick up of any positional or players who've come in there while I follow the play, I'll come to you in a minute and we'll check that. But it's Monaghan playing into a strong wind in this second half. That has to be said, and they are 9 points down in this game. So they have a long way back if they're going to stay in this championship and keep their season alive. They have a really big job. We didn't really see much sign of it in the first half, but this is the number 11 Garland trying to go through, but she is blown for over carrying. So would you spot anything? No,
other than I think Carla McKenna came on for Orla Corbett. I think that happened in the last few minutes of the first half, but other than that, I don't see any changes to the Monaghan team at all. It's the same.
Anna McCann with a kick out, and it runs all the way through to number 21, that's Shauna Coyle, who got the last point of the first half. And now Breed McNally from Emmyvale. I remember seeing that minor game, the Ulster final a couple of years ago, and Breed McNally played in that, and you just thought Monaghan, they're so good at underage, they're just going to dominate and they're just going to be a strong county, and yet within a couple of years Antrim are beating them at senior level by 9 points. A very comprehensive performance. It's amazing the way it can go, but that is what's happened. And sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, you know, it is what happens in a team in transition. Like this Antrim team have been together for what, 2-3 years. So, you know, from that minor team, I'd say they're only getting a few minor girls coming through this year. They'll see a big difference next year for themselves and just getting settled.
And there they just the players in the right place at the right time, and that was the player who you mentioned there. That was Carla McKenna, and this is Nee Lynchy with a lovely little juggle of the ball there, and this is Maria O'Neill, and Tubridy is saying, give it to me. She is through. She wants to cap off a perfect week for her, but Prenter says, I do the shooting. 2 or 3 players diving on it, you still can't stop her.
I know. That was a brilliant play by Tubbs, and obviously big run for Maria, and then just a pop off to Orla, and as we all know what Orla's going to do, especially from 14 yards.
Now this is tough for the goalkeeper here, Alana O'Donoghue, into the win, so Rosemary Courtney sensibly goes short for her and makes it a bit easier. And this is Emma Clerkin now. And Emma gives it to Shona Brady, hugging the touchline, coming inside now. And number 2 is Maeve Monaghan, but she has lost the ball to Lara D'Hunsey. And D'Hunsey is brilliant at just winning balls, and that's a brilliant pass as well. It nearly was. Nearly was a perfect ball, but instead Monaghan survive. And this is an important stage of the game in the first 5 minutes or so of the second half. If there's going to be a comeback, you would imagine Monaghan are going to show signs of it now. So the first score of the second half, you imagine, will be important. Will Monaghan set the tone in the way that D'Hunsey did at the start? This is Lauren Garland now for her team. She's used to winning, of course, with Donamoyne, but this Monaghan team have struggled this year, and indeed the last couple of years. But can they get a score here? Rosemary Courtney nips inside beautifully. They are going for goal. They certainly need it, and the chance turns into a point chance and is put over in the end by Leanne Maguire, and that is better for Monaghan, and they obviously have been told you need to do something here or your season is up.
Absolutely, and you can tell by the Monaghan forwards are trying to stretch Antrim's back line, because obviously Antrim are going to any of the forwards, like 2 or 3, they're bunching them up, and you can tell Monaghan are trying to kick out wide and use their widths as much as possible there. But great point.
It is indeed, and it makes it 4 points. 3-4 to 4, still 9 points in it. A lot of tough coming together in this game, and don't think there's anybody seriously injured there, and it's Sarah O'Neill, Denise, is that why there was an extra emotion in your ooh there?
Well, I think Jennifer Duffy just came in with a strong arm there, but yeah, obviously Sarah just went to ground. But I could be biased, obviously, Jerome.
We'll let you, I think, today, that's okay. But it may be a bit one-sided, but of course the player is going for it. You saw the chance a few minutes ago where the point that was taken and 2 or 3 players diving on it. They're still playing for pride, even though the result may look like it's going to go Antrim's way. Good work by the goalkeeper, Alana, to come out and claim that one.
Very strong, that goalkeeper. She's done very, very well today. I know that it doesn't look like with 3 goals, but her kickouts have been brilliant.
Well, remember that point-blank save as well. You know, so it was a terrific keeper yesterday for Louth, Rebecca Lamb-Fagan, and she commanded her area and made good saves as well. There's a lot of great young keepers coming through. This is Amy Hamill from the Emmyvale clubs, gives it to Murren Atkinson. Back to Hamill. This is better for Monaghan. All of a sudden they're playing off the shoulder, they're supporting each other. Clerkin was up there as well, and Atkinson trying to work her way through, but the Saffrons' work rate is such that they have a lot of jerseys back there. And they're very organised as well, and they're just, some players going to the ball, some players marking space. They've been well drilled, and they're just forcing Monaghan to keep going around the edges and go for their points. And that's nicely swung over, actually. I think it was Jodie McQuillan on her left foot there. We see her kick mostly with her right, so that's a good score from her, and brings it back to 5 points. And there are just suggestions that Monaghan are not gone yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was really, really, as I said, they're very, very patient play between Murren Atkinson, and but no, really, really good point, and hopefully continue on like that.
Oh, brilliant catch as well by Breed McNally from the kick out from McCann. McCann got good distance on it. She is a good striker of the ball, but McNally caught that beautifully under pressure. But Antrim have got it back, and that looks like Sarah O'Neill has gone down. She's been blown for over carrying there. I thought she might have got the decision, but instead it's gone the other way. Anna's been moved forward. Monaghan's problem here, Geraldine, is that they're playing into the wind. It's going to be so hard to take scores up there. They might have to try and do what Antrim did and go for a couple of goals up there.
Yeah, definitely. Try to manufacture a few points here, short balls in.
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to work it in. This is Atkinson. They're just trying to go around the edges and trying to find a way through, but they don't really have anyone on the edge of the square there. They don't have a printer, but they have got it back, and that is that Garland in there. And it's a chance now for Atkinson, and now it is McBride, and she likes to get a goal, but has she got a point? She's got it. You have to admire their heart and determination here, because they look down and out at 1 point.
Oh, that's just, as you say, they're massively determined there. That's a brilliant point for them.
From McBride, and that's now 6 points on the board, and they've got it back to a 7-point game. But here come Antrim, just a 1 point for them so far in the second half, and that's Ciara Brown leading them forward, and Kathy Carey, and Antrim just looking to up their game slightly here and just re-establish their authority.
Off the ground,
that decision has gone for
Antrim. Well, it should be Antrim's ball there. It was Monaghan girl had touched it on the ground.
The referee's running the other direction. Oh, he's just taking his
It's just
position.
like
That puzzled me a little bit there, but yeah, it is an Antrim ball. Nice little pop pass through to McKenna. This is Maria O'Neill into Devlin, or McLaughlin rather, and Grania from Glenaven. I don't think she'll mind me getting her confused with Geraldine McLaughlin.
That's not a bad,
No.
you know.
No, it's not bad at all, but going for over carrying there, just trying to get her way along the end line there and get through.
Yeah, Shauna Coyle did so well. She was so strong whenever, like Grania's a very strong player whenever she drives at you, and Shauna Coyle did so well to keep her at it and keep her contained there.
Now the goalkeeper, I think, is going to need someone to go short. Oh, they're making a substitution actually, Monaghan. That's what the delay is for, and Amy Garland is going off. And trying to see who's come on. Might be over in that far corner. We'll see that. We'll pick that up in a minute. But back with the play. Good press from Antrim. And in fact, what has the referee spotted in there? There was something in there. Is there a push? He's going towards Brona Devlin here, is it?
I think, yeah, he's definitely going to give her a tick or even a yellow. Maybe she's a tick there. So
yeah, just a tick.
He's telling she's got 2 ticks there. So
right, okay.
There's obviously consideration there for Antrim.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out who's just came on.
Yeah, I think there's a girl way up there on full forward there. I think Emma Ferrin, I think might be the new players come in. Can't see the number there. I'll see it now. Do I? 20 something. 12?
12.
Kayla Murphy. Yeah. She was named to start, but I don't think she did, and that's her on the ball now from Inniskeen. So I think that is the change. This is Atkinson again. Courtney. The more established players for Monaghan trying to get them going, and McQuillan puts over another nice score, and they are getting going and playing better than they did in the first half, into the win strangely.
Yeah, no, like absolutely, they're playing brilliant, and you can tell, as I was saying, it's just the strength of those girls driving it. And you know, in the first half they were trying to kick long ball but couldn't actually determine the win. There they're just, you know, doing the small passes, small simple passes, and just popping over the bar. That's a brilliant score there for them.
And McCann with a brilliant kick out just when it was needed, looking for Teresa Mellon and finding her, and Teresa, but she has been robbed there brilliantly by Jennifer Duffy, and Monaghan are playing with their tails up now, and they have got 7 points on the board. And Murphy, who has come in to Atkinson, who is running the show at the minute, and runs into DeHunsey, and they would love a goal here to really liven this up, but instead Atkinson has ended up with an injury there, and that's a disaster for Monaghan just when they were getting going.
Yeah, Laura just went into Murren there. To be honest, I thought it was, you know, maybe a free.
Yeah, we saw it once there. I wonder could we actually see that replay again there, just till we get another look at it and see what happened there. But she seems to be in a lot of pain. Here it is again now. Have a wee look there. Boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah, but obviously the referee didn't see anything in it.
But she's sitting up at least. That's the important thing. Do you know what's one interesting head-to-head out there that I was looking at was Juna Coleman against Jodie McQuillan. There's a height difference there. They wouldn't be allowed in the same boxing ring, let's put it like that. But Juna is such a fabulous player, but I think she got ticked a minute ago, and McQuillan is starting to find her range as well. I wonder what way that is going to go, that little. In fact, Juna now is trying to get away from her.
Well, I see Ciara. Oh, well done.
Oh, that was well done indeed by Maria O'Neill. She looked a little bit casual there, but she does that. She deceives you there, but she's totally in control. And now Kathy Carey, that's lovely play by her in tight quarters, looking for Mellon, but Monaghan have stolen it back, and Monaghan are making a game of this.
Absolutely, and Jennifer has taken it to them. She's been brilliant there in full back, just driving out.
She really is, but I think they need a goal. You know, I mean, it's 3-4 to 7, so it's 7 scores each, but it's 13 to 7, so there's 6 points in it. It's 18 minutes to go, so it's still a long way back to them. 21 is Shauna Coyle, and you feel that they will need a goal, but they are picking off points quite nicely. But Antrim haven't really got going. I did think at half-time that Antrim were going to pile on the pressure in the second half and enjoy themselves out there, but maybe they've just been a little bit too relaxed in the second half, but they just haven't gone for it, and they've only scored 1 point in this half.
Well, yeah, and I have to say Monaghan have been really, really driven there. I know obviously Grania did really well there to dispossess, but you can tell that Monaghan are really, like even that tackle there, they're really putting all in.
They are trying. But this is McKenna. And Antrim now starting to just exert a little bit of control out there, and they're through, and there's a chance. That could go anywhere, but instead Jennifer Duffy sweeps it up. And yeah, Antrim, they're not finding the same room up there, but look, hold on a minute, here's the girl you want on the ball. It's Prenter. Oh, lovely dummy solo as well. One of them tried to tackle her, another tried to get near her. They can't, but there's no score at the end of it, and Antrim, you feel, just need a wee score in there just to settle them down a little bit, and she had a few chances there to go for it.
Absolutely, yeah, and as I said, Monaghan's backline has done so well to gobble all of that up.
This is turning into an interesting game when we thought it was going to be one-sided. Now Kathy Carey, oh, what a precision pass that is to Maria O'Neill, and the silent assassin has done it again, just what Antrim needed, and the home crowd are loving it, and why not? And that should be the goal that sends them through to the 2023 TG4 All-Ireland Intermediate Semi-Finals. Dreamland, history for Antrim.
Well, that pass by Kathy, that's why I say to you, she's just such their most important player. She just looked up, seen Maria, passed, ping, and Maria, as we all know, just drives it and took it really well there. But no, that was an amazing goal there.
It was the master and the apprentice, wasn't it? Still pulling the strings after 20 years, Kathy Carey, and Maria, so young. She's only, what, 18, 19, and Kathy's been playing longer than that for Antrim.
We're not going to say what age Kathy is now.
No, but she has been playing 20 years, and
she
you know, you can start when you could have started when you're 13 in those days.
Well, I remember playing senior football with Kathy from Monaghan at 12. She was 12, so yeah, that says it all.
12.
She's 12. I know.
Wow. And she's still doing it.
Still doing it.
Captaining, and the success she has had at this stage of her career, silverware-wise, is unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely. They don't tell her that, actually.
No. Prenter again tries to flick it through, and Antrim have been settled by that. They're almost playing exhibition stuff out there in a way. They're trying things that they probably shouldn't try, you know. But
and I can understand why, yeah. But I have to say, Monaghan are taking it to them. I know there was that goal, but Monaghan are really driving at them hard, and you can tell every ball. It's, you know, they're really pushing the Antrim girls to the limit. Yeah,
but that goal would have really rocked them back after all the good work they got to score 4 points in the second half, and it was nearly wiped out in a minute.
I know, absolutely. Hopefully they'll push on.
This is DeHunsey again, defying injury. Prenter sweeps it over the bar, Shirley, and she does indeed. And Antrim firmly back in control in this game.
Absolutely. Oh, Orla, the way she just strikes that ball, and you just knew it was just going to go over the bar there. With that wind as well, she's super impressive. Oh.
Short kick out, and they just managed to get there. And Monaghan have another gear after all of that. Amy Hamill, she's fouled. And the referee not happy with that one, and we'll talk to Kathy about that. No, he won't.
Yeah, he's pointing to his head. I think obviously he must have felt that she got a knock on the head there.
There's one thing I do like about ladies football, and it's the attitude. I mean, I'm sure you're genuine there, and that you're looking at Monaghan, and you feel sorry for them, or maybe not even feel sorry for them. You just sort of see that they're trying their best, and you're admiring them for that. You can see that it's just not happening for them, despite the fact that Monaghan could have beaten Antrim for 20 years by 20 points easily. And I spoke to a girl from Leitrim a couple of months ago, and she was talking about playing Antrim as well, and she was full of praise for Antrim, and she's she just turned 37 years old, and she's won a Team of the League award, and I was thinking she was going to be on. Yeah, they hammered us in the league final, but she was so effusive in her praise and so generous and gracious of the Antrim team and what they'd done, and admiration for them as well. And I don't know if you get that so much in men's football.
No, yeah, I have to say with ladies football, you just have a massive amount of respect for women that obviously drive, develop their own game, the practicing, the time, and obviously to put it out there on the pitch and do so well. Like, you are driving for all of them to do well, to keep the game going, because like obviously whenever I started playing football, it was the fastest growing sport in Ireland, and you just want to continue that. You want to continue the want from all those wee girls coming through wanting to play, and that's what you are. You're driving it for everyone else out there. So yeah, no, there's a big collaboration there.
Absolutely, the wider game. That's a great ball from Mellon all the way down here to Maria O'Neill. And she's fouled, but the referee lets her go on, and now we'll bring it back. And you know, at the minute, she must be on a goal a game. Some games she's scoring 2.
Well, yeah, I think she usually gets 1 or 2 goals per game. I think Longford she maybe got a point or so, but yeah, she usually does. But she's very, very, very effective, and their speed, as we were saying about her, whenever she turns and goes, there's very few backs that can contain her.
Yeah, she's so deceptive there, as you say. You know, Prenter in a way is more impressive when she takes her scores and you can see what's coming, but Maria is just as effective in scoring goals.
Yeah. Oh.
That one's good. I know there was a no there from the crowd as if to say, she missed one. You know, they're shocked.
Yeah. One thing with Maria, which she's tried to develop in her game, is to bring in left-footed. If you notice in the first half, she's left-footed goal. She's predominantly right-footed. So it's good to.
Is she one of those girls that if you said to her something like that, she'd prove you wrong? She'd go out to put one in with her left.
True. Silently, as you say.
Deadly. Yeah, it was a great finish. So the 4 goals and just the 5 points. I mean, I was looking at their scores in recent games, and they always seem to score more than 10 points. So this is very low point scoring for Antrim. Not that really matters. It reminds me of, I remember a journalist said to Peter McGrath after Down won the All-Ireland in '91, about 20 minutes after the game, they were interviewing them over in the dressing rooms, and he said, do you know you didn't score in the last 14 minutes or 1 point in the last 23 minutes? And I remember thinking, well, do you think he really cares? You know, as long as you win the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It is so true. There's Emma Ferran's done really, really well there to get that ball, and again Antrim are on the attack. But yeah, absolutely, goals win games, isn't that right?
Oh, what a ball! And it's Carey again, and looking for O'Neill again. It's that connection, and through the middle it's Orla Prenter, and I think she's going to get the 5th goal, and she does. Icing on the cake time, and it is the master, Kathy Carey, running the show, and then the young guns coming through from Moneyglass, deadly. And Antrim are absolutely buzzing. They
are. Obviously, that ball in from Kathy was just amazing, and the way Maria takes it and just pops it off to Orla. But it takes some run, as you can see where Orla came from, to take that on. Oh.
That's Maeve Monaghan for Monaghan up against the Huntsy, though.
And she's been brilliant today for them.
She has. She's certainly tried her best.
I have to say the Monaghan backline has been brilliant. Really, really strong.
Yeah, but you can see ever since the first goal, it's opened up a lot more, and Monaghan have had to put players forward, but there's more gaps at the back, and that's where there's room now for Maria and then for Prenter to come through. And there's about 4 or 5 of them there, and they just knew they're not stopping her.
Oh, absolutely. And as you say, it could be Maria, it could be Grania, it could be Orla, it could be Teresa, you know, it could be anybody, and even Lara at some stage coming through as well. So.
See a sub there is on now for Antrim. 23 is Claire Emerson. She has come in. I don't know who went off, but she's definitely. It might be. Well, I see Orla Carr's orange boots over that far side as that one goes. Oh, he's given that. I thought that was white.
Is it Bruna Devlin? Is he on?
Oh, maybe it was because Bruna was on a couple of ticks and they thought, yeah, that might have been it. Yeah, good spot. Yeah, so Claire Emerson is out there, and she's actually marking Rosemary Courtney. Now Anna McCann. Great kick out again into space. As you could see her, and the kickouts are so important in the modern game, and there's not many better than her. I remember one last year she did in a game, and the wind carried it, I think, almost to the opposite 21. You know, she's a great dig, but she's so accurate as well. I know
sometimes you see her kicking at least 60, 65 yards, and like for a ladies keeper, it's a brilliant, obviously, stepping stone on to push on for the Antrim forwards.
And you see like teams trying to press it, and then she just makes a nonsense of the press by putting it 50 yards up the pitch, and they're going, oh no. Maria O'Neill puts it into Grania McLaughlin. Grania takes it, immediately attacks, and actually it's gone, she put her arm up, he's given it the other way. And it's Monaghan free in the last 10 minutes now. 5 to 8 points. Well, what did I say their average was? 315. It probably works out not too far off that again. They haven't come up against the likes of a Kildare maybe, or the likes of a Meath team who'll have every game like 1 8 to 9 points kind of thing, but that's for another day.
Absolutely. As we were saying, whenever we watched them against Westmeath, they did really, really well because, as we were saying, Westmeath's forwards really, really intense, really, really good as well, and would be pushing on the backs, putting pressure on the backs when they were coming out. So I'd say that was one of their tougher games. and they came out of it really strong.
Well, Westmeath are a serious outfit. You know, they've had quite a lot of transition, but they did win the intermediate just a couple of years ago, and they've had a lot of change since then. But they are a serious team, and they lost Aoife Connolly at an important time in that game to Sinbin. But here come Antrim again. They're looking for a 6th goal, or no, they're going for a point, and they're going to get it. Is it Mellon?
Yeah.
I think it is, and she does get it. The girl from St Bridget's, just across the way from here. But yeah, just going back to Westmeath, I mean, it'll be very interesting if they meet them again. I'm going to try and see how they did today against Clare. They were winning by a point. But yeah, that game was a sort of a step up for Antrim, and Westmeath scored 4 goals that day. But at one point, Aoife Connolly, who's a terrific young player, it was actually the incident where your niece got the dislocation and she got a yellow card for that. There's the Hunsey going off now, actually. But yeah, you're going to come up against that. The higher level at intermediate grade, there's some serious teams there.
Oh, they definitely are. As you say, the Kildare, the Clares, Westmeath, Tyrone, all of those teams are just massive.
Well, elsewhere, Wexford are now beating Leitrim by a goal with 3 minutes to go, but just by a goal, and it'll be Wexford or Leitrim against Kildare or Tyrone. I'm expecting Kildare to come through there overall and get to the final. They've been so good this year, but you just can't be sure. And here, this is the interesting one. Clare 3-13, Westmeath 3-7. And that is a latest with about 10 minutes to go, so 6 points up. So that looks like Antrim will be playing Clare the way things are going. But hold on, Monaghan aren't done yet. McQuillan again, they have to go for goal, they do, but they don't get it. 19 is on for Antrim, and that's Caitlin Taggart, and here she is now getting the ball and just passing the partial to Prenter. She's one of those players, she's a special player. She gets the ball and she can't be stopped, and the referee rightfully gives her advantage. She's overhit that though, but she's just got that something about her, and I feel myself sort of raising my own game when I see her getting the ball. She's a special player.
Actually, it really is. Actually, there you could tell nearly they were just jumping at her to try and stop her at that stage. But no, whenever she takes off, it's very hard to stop her. I think obviously Jennifer Duffy there, she went in, but she looks like she's hurt herself slightly whenever she went to tackle Orla there.
Yeah, there was 2 or 3 went in there, but she took the brunt of it, and she has been in a few collisions today. She has certainly
she's been brilliant.
Tried her best today for this Monaghan team, but it looks like their season is coming to an end.
Yeah, it's just any time it gets beyond that midfield line, it just feels like they're going for goals. Is it just me drawn?
Well, it's just because it's opened up so much now. I think that there's a lot of room. Are you talking about Monaghan or Antrim?
Antrim,
there's so much room there that it looks like it just opens up for them, because Monaghan are pushing players forward. I guess there's more room.
There's Lauren Garland again. Lauren's she's covered nearly every blade of grass here today. She's been very hard working for Monaghan.
This is Coyle. She's got support there from Maeve Monaghan, and they gives it to her, and she's certainly tried her best today as well. And she stood up by McKenna. This is number 9, Chloe McBride. They come back out to Monaghan. Inside to the sub who came on. Can they get a score? They've just been forced to go from side to side. The sub was Murphy. This is McQuillan again. Hasn't been a thriller for the crowd to get excited about, but I don't think anyone will be complaining from Antrim either. They're enjoying the day here. The thunderstorms have not transpired, thankfully, and the game has been entertaining enough, and they'll be happy with a home win.
Yeah, you're totally right. There was Jennifer Duffy. She was driving through there. Obviously got dispossessed. And
Antrim free again. Looking way up the pitch. The Monaghan players have all pushed forward, and there's only 2 at the back, and Maria O'Neill is up there, and Amy Hamill has come back now to provide a bit of cover. I can't believe we're this relaxed with 7 or 8 minutes to go, and you know it's not a contest against Monaghan.
I know.
I think for years I was just so used to watching Monaghan at the top of the game, Division 1 Senior Championship, and this is Antrim, and they're just pulling them apart.
But as we said, you know, those few goals at the start, it's really hard to recover whenever you come, you know, and that was whenever they were with the wind.
But look at that for a ball again from Kerry. She is showing a masterclass today on how to pass the ball, and they've worked it now to Emerson, the sub, and instead of taking her own score, they play for the team, And this is Grania, and she is one of the shooters, and she just got that. No, it's just gone to the right. Crowd got a bit excited there, but just didn't quite judge it right. With 3 minutes left, with another player down injured, another Monaghan player. It's been a tough day in more ways than one for the girls from the Farney County.
Of course.
They might need to make another change, but I think they're running out of substitutes.
I know, because they seem to come in here with a very small panel. When you look at the numbers compared to Antrim, they're only at 21, which is like usually for like the senior county panels, you usually have at least 30. But hopefully she's okay.
I think it's just the accumulation of the season too. You know, they name their list there as well. Antrim are the same, but like Saoirse Tennyson is over there and she's on the bench. She's named in the 30, but she's out for the year.
I know. With Anna Mahond as well, a dislocated elbow. You don't know when she'll be back, and obviously Niamh McIntosh as well, so it's tough.
Yeah, but as Greg Blaney said to me once when I said to him when he was on commentary, I said, yeah, they're missing a couple of players today, and he said, no, they've got 15 out there. You know, there's still 15 on the pitch, and the 15 on the pitch for Antrim are doing an amazing job out there.
Oh, they played brilliant today, and the teamwork, and I have to say just their forward play between Kathy and Orla and Maria have been amazing to watch.
And I think there might have been a few nerves today, even though they've won this easily in the end. But before the game, just because it was at home, because it's an All-Ireland intermediate quarter-final, a big day for them, but they have knuckled down and they've just got on with the job.
They genuinely have, and they've worked so hard as well. You can even tell it, like there's Teresa Mellon making her way down to the defence. Have been working so hard, but have to say, give it to Monaghan. They keep driving at them. And this is
Rosemary Courtney, yeah, still trying for them, and McQuillan again, shaping there as if she might take a point, goes for it in the air, but that's gone over to the right and it's gone wide. So we're now down to the last minute of normal time. So I think it's safe to say Antrim, and I'm going to just pause before saying this, Geraldine, because I know it means a lot to you and a lot to Antrim people as well. Antrim are through to the All-Ireland Intermediate semi-finals.
It's amazing to hear, I have to say. It's like for those girls that they're history makers. That's what it is. They're history makers, and hopefully they can push on. That's a big thing for Antrim.
Who would be your player of the match? We're going to come to that as well. I'll give you a minute to think about that. I'll just continue here. I see that number 21, and that is Aoife Taggart, is going to come back on. I think she came on as a blood sub earlier on. She's now going to come on for the last few minutes of this game as well. And it's Coleman now. And into Emerson to Carey. Close quarters for Sarah O'Neill. And indeed, Monaghan have turned that over, but they've nobody up. They have nobody beyond the ball, so they're going to have to just wait a second. But they are trying their best right into added time at the end of this game, and we are indeed in the 61st minute now.
Well, they keep on going at it, and
yeah, the referee just gave advantage there, and he's brought it back. So yeah, it's pretty amazing. Down elsewhere have beaten Limerick, so that's a junior. Who would have thought that they would have been at junior and Antrim would have been at intermediate? They've kind of swapped places there, but that's what has happened. And don't have any updates from Westmeath, Clare, but it looks like Antrim against Clare. And now Orla Prender's getting a rest, and it is indeed Taggart who's gone on. And from Monaghan, Breeden McNally has gone off for them. I can't see who's come on for them. I'll pick that up if I can in a second, but it's Chloe McBride with the ball. And a free here and a little bit far out, so she's going to try and work it in. They try to, but it's being turned over for Antrim, and that's great work by the number 19 who is in there, of course, Caitlin Taggart. I know her more, Geraldine, as a corner forward.
Yes, she is, she usually is, but obviously if you're a good footballer you can play anywhere, isn't that right?
Exactly, yeah. Well, it's also the way Antrim play, isn't it, you know? And high challenge there by McBride, who has been in the wars herself today as well, and she's gone down. And let's have a look at it again here. We did see it right up close, and here's our camera angle of what happened. The two players going down in a heap there, and it's Sarah O'Neill, your niece again, involved there. But
yeah,
how did you see that one?
It looked like a high tackle there. Obviously, the thing is, Sarah was running into a couple of players there, but I think McBride obviously took a high enough tackle and took Sarah down. But I think she came down herself as well.
I'm going to explain it or not explain it, but describe it in the way that I saw it. And to me, it wasn't one where a player deliberately went high to hurt the other player. The player sort of came into it, and her hand was up there, but it wasn't like it was, around the head trying to hurt her. I think it was almost a coming together one of those ones, and it wasn't quite as bad as it looked, is what I'm trying to say. And maybe that's why the referee hasn't taken any action.
True.
Although, is Sarah okay? I think she is.
She seems to be fine.
Well, actually, Kyla's still with her, and it looks like they're taking her off.
Oh.
Maybe they were just going to take her off anyway. There's a sub has come on right at the end, and is it 25, I think it is, for Antrim, and that is Megan McGarry on at a time at the end of this game. So Megan will get a minute or two.
Brilliant. That's great to see Megan out again.
Tell me, I don't know her backstory. Is she?
I thought Megan had been injured. Maybe I'm wrong.
You might
in
be
that
right.
way.
Yeah, from Glenavy.
But it's great. It's great to see it.
Yeah, imagine if Antrim get all their injured players back. And here she is now on the ball, Megan, to Kathy Carey, still running the show.
She definitely is.
Directing the traffic. This is great from Antrim. They're enjoying themselves out there, and that's one of the Tigers. I think it's Caitlin going for her score and just doesn't quite get it.
Again, Kathy driving on, and like we're talking about the 63rd minute, and she's still making things work and making things tick at that stage or whatever. Just making the simple. She always makes it look like it's a simple pass, but none of it is.
So I make it now. This will be 1 defeat and 20. Which is just incredible at inter-county level. So since February last year, they've only lost one game, and it was a dead rubber that didn't actually finish as a game.
That's true, actually, against Troy.
This is Mellon. Oh, she throws her head in the air. And they have missed quite a few chances for points, which is why for them it's a low point scoring total.
Oh, absolutely, like the amount of chances they had. But again, whenever you consider Monaghan in the first half, they had quite a lot of chances as well. That wind is very deceiving. It's quite strong.
Absolutely, yeah, you're right. It's and there was one or two that actually looked over the bar, and then the wind actually carried it wide. Maeve Monaghan for Monaghan. Hamill is there as well if needed. And there, Maeve Monaghan is claiming a foul, but the referee has given advantage, so they keep going. We're now in the 65th minute, almost the 66th minute, and overall today we've played, 76, 77 minutes in this game. But the Antrim players looked like they could play all day. They're just enjoying this in front of their home support here. You don't often get that opportunity. Lovely ball again in towards O'Neill with the outside of the boot, or the front of the foot, from Carey, and she really is the playmaker there. She's the Messi. History made once more by this amazing Antrim team. They are through to the 2023 All-Ireland Intermediate semi-finals. Incredible what they've done the last few years, and it's mainly been down to Kyla Traynor and Emma Kelly, who shakes hands with her opposite numbers. But what a job they have done. They came in May 2021. We are now in July 2023, and their record reads 28 games, 21 wins. Just incredible. Geraldine McCann, I keep thinking of your days, and don't think you quite managed 21 wins out of 28.
No, I think it would have been the other way about. 8 wins out of 28. I think
well, you did get the All-Ireland a couple of times,
yeah,
to be fair.
We usually went for the championship. I think the league was always just our warm-up. That's what we try to always say to ourselves.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's amazing. This team, they're just such a bunch of winners, and you can just see that they just want more, and they keep driving more as well. So, it's, as you say, history in the making, and all of those wee girls on the pitch and everything like that. They're looking up to those girls as role models, and obviously want to push on again. So, no, it's amazing.
I love the way today you've described them as winners, a bunch of winners, and you've also described them as a bunch of ballers. And those two things are absolutely true, and you probably didn't think you'd be saying that about an Antrim ladies team.
Well, Jerome, one of the things whenever you're playing in junior, you would have been seen as the wee junior footballers, but now they're serious outfits. Every girl there, they're not only just footballers, they're athletes as well. So it's impressive what Emma and Kyla have have done and created this team. And obviously it's big credit to the clubs as well involved, because Antrim are obviously competing at that level at the senior level too. So no, it's so impressive.
And I suppose you could come out of junior but think, well, we'll not compete that well at intermediate level, but they've taken intermediate by storm. They've won the Ulster Championship and they're through now to the semi-finals. And oh, look at that for a shot. Oh, goodness me. Saffron Rising. Well, we said they're a young team, but that's the future there as well. And they are loving this game. And seeing Antrim playing here at home in Belfast. We talked before the game, is this the biggest game ever for ladies football in Belfast? And I think it is certainly for Antrim. And that shot there, to me, sums up what today is all about. The future is so bright for Antrim.
Oh, it really is, actually. And as I was saying about the under-16s as well coming through. So it's brilliant. It was really, really good. Onwards and upwards. In relation to player of the match, obviously you can look at the Monaghan team. I thought Maeve Monaghan and Jennifer Duffy and Rosemary Courtney, I have to say, they gave everything out on that pitch today. They were brilliant, really, 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 really strong. For Antrim, obviously looking at it, I think Ciara and Kathy and even Laura DeHunzy was brilliant, but whenever I looked at it, I think Orla Prenter, she just has that touch of class. Those goals, those points, just settling Antrim. I thought she did excellent today, and to be honest, she would be my man of the match.
I admire you because you could easily have gone for one of your nieces. Maria, of course, with a couple of goals as well. Maybe you deliberately didn't go there, but Orla Prenter, she always wins it.
I know, she does. How biased does that not look if I actually chose Maria?
No, that's reverse discrimination, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And just finally, it looks like they're going to play Clare, All-Ireland semi-finals. I mean, why not? I mean, Clare are a super team, but what have Antrim got to fear?
Absolutely. Clare, amazing team. Obviously, whenever I was playing, they were always there and pushing between intermediate and senior, so they're such a strong outfit. And obviously, beating Westmeath by that much, they've obviously pushed on as well. So it's going to be a tough game for Antrim. I'm hoping the likes of Lara, she's okay, because you seen you come off there at the end. Hopefully it was just to give her a rest, but I think they've
try stopping her.
I know, try stopping her is right, but it'll be a good game. It'll be a tough game for Antrim. I'd say it'll be the toughest game they'll have had this year.
Look at this fella on here with a stick as well. So there's young, there's old out here, and this is the new wave of Saffron Rising. And I see a photographer getting a big group picture over there of the kids as well in the middle of the field. And we're going to leave you with that scene here. It's been a terrific day to be involved in this game and this live stream of Antrim doing so well here. Hard luck to Monaghan. Their season is over. They'll come back again next year. They'll reorganise and come back. I'm sure they're a proud county, but they have just been very well beaten here today by the new team on the block, the new kids on the block, and it's been a great day for Antrim. Thanks to Geraldine for being on CoComs today. Thanks a million, Geraldine, for doing that. 2009 All-Ireland Junior Captain. Claire Timoney, 2012 All-Ireland Junior Captain. Kathy Carey, All-Ireland Junior Captain last year. But now we're talking intermediate.
I know.
And we're talking about the semi-final coming up, probably against Clare. I haven't been able to get an update, but it looks like Clare in the semi-finals. Be a clash of colours for one thing, by the way. But that's one really, really to look forward to. But that's for another day. For now, from here, with the Cranes of Harland and Wolff and Belfast City in the background, it's goodbye.
Thank you.
A lot can happen in just 1 second. Winning goal, winning save, perfect tackle, clever flick, good call from the ref, great shout from the line. The county title after 30 years. In just 1 second. It's a game of seconds. Glorious seconds. Genius in split seconds. They're great players. Just 1 second. The difference between a good decision and a bad one. A lost temper, frustrated shout, that gut reaction. We've all done it. And we're never proud. But we can do better. We all can. Sideline, dressing room, meeting room, all places of passion where split-second decisions are made. Good ones, bad ones, some days not so calm ones. It's instinct, we know, because we love it. We just don't think. But we have to. Of others, of our players, of our game. Think before we act.
Take a second, catch your breath. Collect yourself, don't regret. Take a second to make the right call for ladies Gaelic football.